In this series, we take a look at the guilds of Magic the Gathering and see what we can take from them. I'll showcase a faction with 3 monsters belonging to it, a subclass, 3 items and a small encounter, all flavored by the guild we focus on. All content is available on my Discord server for free, so if you like any of the stuff, feel free to add it to your own campaigns. Let's start with the outline. What makes the Izzet League tick? The Izzet League asks themselves not if they should do, but if they can do it. Creative, curious and careless are the 3 keywords I'd use to describe them. Their leader is a dragon, whose plans and machinations span the whole plane, trying to make his plan of tomorrow reality. Sparking towers, coils and steaming pipes, heavy air with the smell of sulfur and hot metal. You hear explosions, cranking gears and the scribble of experiment results being written down. Being part of such a volatile environment has made the inhabitants of the Izzet-controlled areas adaptable. You might need to move rapidly when a failed experiment crashes through your door. Automatic Reanimators are a must-have for any self-respecting tank or healer. Protect yourself from an unexpected knockout. Shocking yourself back to action, our patented automatic Reanimator gives you the second you need. Its sensitive calibration allows its charge to trigger right in the moment the lights would go out. Ask your artificer if the automatic Reanimator is right for you. Please fight responsibly. A blue dragon that once got injured and lost its wings leads this faction. Returning to the sky is its greatest wish. It managed to seek refuge with a tribe of goblins, giving them knowledge in exchange for metal scraps and arcane fuel sources. While the dragon is tinkering on artificially created wings and weapons for the goblins, its minions attack traders and plunder laboratories of technologically advanced cities. The Fireminds have access to advanced prosthetics and love the use of lightning-based spells. They even host a special type of goblin, the Goblin Electromancer. Exposure to magical experiments has destabilized the DNA of these goblins. They accumulate more and more arcane energy until it bursts out of them in the form of shrieking electrical discharges. It gets even worse when they're in groups. Reverse synthesis enhances all spells cast near these goblins, something tricky players could also take advantage of. A group of Electromancers isn't called a powder keg for no reason. The Fireminds lair is a cave system filled with pipes transporting steam and oil to strange machines, anvils and furnaces. The air is thick with smoke and steam. You can hear the shouting of orders by foremen and heavy tools being used to expand the tunnels and cave systems. Trapped within arcane boilers are steam-kin elementals that power machines and experiments, a source that guarantees stable energy output. But be careful what happens if one gets out. They tend to run themselves hot and split into more and more copies. A runaway steamkin can set back production for days if not contained quickly. As the creature runs with blinding speed, it spews hot steam on anything that gets in its way, melting even metal beams and igniting all flammables. Still, the reward outweighs the risk, and most workplaces have a steamkin safety officer anyways. The Fireminds' greatest pride are huge metallic walkers that spit lightning at their opponents. The production of these machines is quite costly, so goblins who pilot them become sort of celebrities in their own right. But beware if the pilot loses control over its mechanical monster. It will not distinguish between friend or foe, stomping and shooting at anything that moves. Sometimes another goblin will try and claim such a rampaging Spiderwalker, trying to move up in the social hierarchy. The faction could serve as the antagonist for a more scientific setting or inhabit a mid-sized dungeon. Dragons are inherently very scalable boss monsters, and taking away its flight makes it even suitable for lower levels. Use other constructs and environmental hazards like steam and Tesla coils to spice up the typical goblin cave. Blue dragons value knowledge above everything else, so reward your players with cool scrolls or books. Additionally, you could offer a lot of lightning-themed items for putting an end to the crazed Fireminds.
Oh man, bro, I'm so high right now.
High as a kite, that is. With the new Blazekite kite, you can perform epic combat maneuvers, escape the deepest pits, scale the highest buildings. Even a Loxodon can soar through the air. Get yours today. Attunement may be required. Blaze Industry does not take responsibility for possible side effects like sudden fall damage, head trauma, or electric burns. In my opinion, the Barbarian is one of the most underutilized but fun classes. Its roleplay, unfortunately, gets limited by its mandatory stat investments and stereotypes. You want to be strong, dexterous, and have a lot of constitution, leaving little space for the more role-playing stats like intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. Let's fix that with a path of inspiration. A barbarian that does not fit the stereotype of being brainless. The rage reinterpreted as a state of flow. A mental state in which a person is completely focused on a single task or activity. In our case, bashing our opponents. These barbarians lose themselves in their task and stop at nothing until they accomplish their goal. The HP pool of the barbarian really lets you get close to investigate, even in dangerous situations, shrugging off enemies while completing complex tasks. I gave them access to 2 useful cantrips that showcase not only the destructive nature, but also demonstrates the ability to repair and to help. The later feats focus on making your rage more defensive, and give you some nice out and inside combat ability. You could spend a rage just to increase your odds at an important intelligence-based check. The first and last feat you can gain from the Path of Flow make intelligence a viable stat to invest in without losing combat power. Not having to spend points in dexterity frees up points to invest into roleplay, but still keeps the core value of strength and hardiness. A barbarian on the Path of Flow could be an archaeologist that doesn't shy away from danger. Or a field researcher going to places too dangerous for the average pencil pusher. Having big muscles also gets associated with being a meathead. So subverting this trope gives plenty of roleplay opportunity. You could try and multiclass with a wizard, giving you some interesting spell options, while you can't concentrate or cast spells during your rage. Spells like Dark Vision, Long Stride, Jump, or Grease let you set up the battlefield before you start to rage. Or you just load up on utility spells for outside of combat.
I don't want to be exposed to danger. I want to be the danger. Safety gloves let me lead the frontline lifestyle I want to lead and keep my hands dry. Even in the hottest situations, I can stay cool. Nothing can shock me or sour my mood while I'm wearing my safety gloves. Even my party members complimented me on my rad new style, and they come in 3 trendy colors: eggshell, taupe, and cream. Order yours now.
Ordering good weather. The location, a bigger city. Our characters, a rich socialite, the political rival, a weather mage, and a gang of hired muscle. To set up this encounter, the party gets approached by a socialite to go meet with a weather mage outside the city. The socialite wants to ensure their garden party does not get ruined by sudden weather, so they want to hire the weather mage to ensure the party isn't. The mage gives the party a rod that attracts bad weather, telling them to plant it on a near hill. That way, the city will be spared from rain for a few days. Leaving the weather mage, they will get approached by a group of hired muscle, offering them coin in exchange for placing the rod in the garden, thus ruining the party. Should they refuse, the hired muscle will attack. The socialite will be happy, pay them, and pull the strings to make their life easier in the city, like room and board, discounts, or connections to other powerful NPCs. Should they choose to ruin the party, they might have to deal with the socialite pulling strings to make their life more difficult, or having their political allies be more negatively inclined towards the party. On the other hand, the political rivals would be happy that the garden party got ruined and would probably take pleasure out of it. They might have to deal with the socialite pulling strings to make their life more difficult. You can use this easy quest to set up 2 rival factions that go against each other and force the party to choose a side. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you could take some inspiration from it. And I'd love to hear about it if you did.